Welcome to the Our Town demonstration video on Genealogy Advanced Published Gedcom Part 2. Andrew Wilson, the user, has just added this piece of media with Betty Wachtel Wilson in the piece of media and is ready to assign a person from his MyPeople list, Betty Wachtel Wilson, to this piece of media. There's only one person in this piece of media, and you don't need to assign a box to it, but you'll recall if you add a box, you just move the box over the person, and select Save. And now this person is saved. And in order for the MyGedcom entry for this person in Andrew Wilson's file to display View Media over here, you need to associate the MyPeople to the MyGedcom, which you do under View Details. So Andrew, the user Andrew, will go in and under Betty Wachtel will associate to people from this drop-down list of MyPeople will associate Betty Wachtel Wilson, owned by Andrew Wilson, to this Gedcom. And now this View Media will bring up a thumbnail under the MyGedcom for Andrew of that assigned person in that media. Now you will notice that in the MyGedcom list, under the status, Betty Lou Wachtel is U, which means unpublished. She has media, but no death date here. So let's go back in and update the death event for Betty Lou Wachtel. Gedcom events, add new event. We will select from the drop-down window the death event, and we'll put in February the 12th. 1998, and then we will also update a location, which was Richland County in Illinois. So this is a complete list of every county in the country, and you'll have to go down to the alphabetic listing of Illinois and find Richland County and select that and insert this event into Andrew Wilson's MyGedcom for Betty Lou Wachtel. So now if we looked at the MyGedcom entry, since it has media, a death date, it becomes published. So if we go to the Published Gedcom, we can see Betty Lou Wachtel, owned by Andrew Wilson, in a View Media. But now we want to associate these two entries for Betty Lou Wachtel, because the master for Betty Lou is Don Wilson, and we've already seen it's subordinated with Dave Wilson and Danny Wilson's media. We want to subordinate Andrew Wilson's media to this. Now to do this, we have to log out, and the owner of the master record, Don Wilson, will have to do the linking and subordinate Andrew Wilson's Betty Lou Wachtel Gedcom to the master. So a little coordination needs to be done here. Once you have elevated your Gedcom entries to the published level, and you can see a match in the published Gedcom list. And this coordination effort can be done by email. Andrew Wilson would email Don Wilson and let him know that there's more media out there with Betty Lou Wachtel on it, and please subordinate that Gedcom to his Gedcom, which is the master. And this is a relatively easy thing to do among relatives. So now Don Wilson logs in, and he sees Betty Lou Wachtel, owned by Andrew Wilson, and he will subordinate that published Gedcom entry to his master. So from the drop-down list, he finds Betty Lou Wachtel, owned by Will Andrew. Now this is telling me that an email is unavailable and the email has not or will not be sent. That mailbox will have to be activated on the server and it'll work properly. So now, if you look at Published Gedcom, you only see one Betty Lou Wilson, and it's a master. And if you click View Media, not only will Don Wilson's media be there, and David Wilson and Dan Wilson's, who were there before, but also now you see Andrew's media with Betty Wilson in it, wrapped up in aggregate with the master. And that concludes part 3 of how sequentially a piece of media can be wrapped up all the way from MyPeople to MyGedcom in the user account, and then linked to the master in the Published Gedcom. Thank you.